Hey guys, it's Julia and welcome to my last video of 2020 where I show you how to make a miniature gingerbread house. So let's get right on into the video. So to get started, I'm going to be making the countertop that we are going to be putting the gingerbread on top of. So I'm going to start by taking some thicker, wider brown wood, and I'm going to be cutting 2 pieces of those. Then I'm going to get some thinner wood and I'm going to be cutting 6 pieces of the same length of wood. Now that we have all of our pieces cut, I'm going to bring in a piece of paper and some tape, and I'm going to stick down the tape so that the sticky side is facing upwards. I'm going to put 2 pieces together so that we have a wider sticky area to work with. Then we're going to start sticking our pieces down to the tape. I just find that this is very helpful for holding our pieces in place to make sure that it dries properly once we add the glue. Now for the piece at the end, this piece was a little bit too wide, and so I just cut it in half and then put it next to the other pieces. Then we finish off by putting the end piece on, and then we're going to get our glue. I'm going to be using Gorilla Glue, but you could use any kind of glue that you want. I like this glue because it hardens very strong, but I did let it dry for about 12 to 24 hours before using it. Now depending on the size of your countertop, the pieces of board that you're going to be cutting to make the base of the counter is going to vary, so just make this according to how big you made your countertop, but I'm just going to be cutting 4 pieces that are going to fit the size of my countertop. So now that I have all my pieces cut, I'm going to be gluing them onto the countertop. Next we're going to be putting some drawers on the front. You can skip this step if you'd like, but I just think it makes it look a little bit more realistic. So I just cut some scrap pieces and I'm going to be gluing them onto the front of our counter. Next, I decided to paint the base of the counter, but I wanted to keep it a kind of wood-ish color, and so I painted it a similar color to the drawer color was originally, but now the whole thing is one cohesive color. Next, I got out some red and white fabric, and you could skip this part if you want, but I just thought that I would fold over the edges and sides with some glue just to keep them from fraying, but if you're not really worried about that, you don't have to do that. Next, I'm going to be getting some clay. Now this is oven baked clay, but honestly I'm a little scared to actually bake this clay, so I just use it as normal clay and I don't end up baking it, but obviously you would bake it the way that your package says to bake it. But I'm just going to be cutting out the pieces for my gingerbread house. Now I've never actually made a real gingerbread house, so I just had to kind of use my imagination as to what pieces I would need to make it, but you could also look up pictures of pieces that you would need in order to make this. Then we're just going to set those pieces aside. Next I'm going to get my resin mold. This is a plate mold that I bought and it's actually very helpful in making multiple plates, but I'm just going to put some resin in and put the lid on, and then I'm going to bring in my UV light to harden it. Once that's finished, I'm going to take my plate out, and I got some white clay to put down on the base of the plate to look like snow, and I also got some fake snow to sprinkle on top and push into the clay to make it look like actual snow. Then I'm getting a paintbrush to kind of clean up the edges a little bit. Next we're going to bring back our gingerbread house pieces and we're going to glue these in place. Now I decided that the sides were a little bit too wide for this plate, and so I cut those in half. Make sure to save one of the pieces that you cut because we're going to be using that for a door later. Then just glue the whole thing together, and here is the base of our gingerbread house. Now to get on with decorating, I got some of these fake trees with little fake snow on top, which I thought if I cut the tops off they would make great, very, very miniature trees to put on our display next to our gingerbread house. So I'm just gluing these in place. You could skip this step if you want to though. Next I'm getting some kind of liquid clay that I bought at the Daiso that I live near, and I'm just spreading that over the roof, and then I'm sprinkling on some fake snow on top to give it the snow covered look, and then I'm gluing the other tree on the back, and I'm kind of pushing it into the clay to make space for it. And like I said before, here is the piece that we cut earlier to make the door. Then I'm putting some more of the liquid clay and a few of these pom-pom beads on the front and the top and the back to act as Christmas lights or just decorations around the house, and that is the end of the house. Next I have this miniature ladle that I found somewhere, and I just cut the handle off to make a mixing bowl. Next I'm going to be making a rolling pin, so I started by cutting a dowel, and then I cut off the ends of two toothpicks, and I'm just going to glue the toothpick pieces onto the ends of the wooden dowel to make a rolling pin. It's super easy to make, and I think it looked pretty cute. Now for my favorite part, the assembly of the display. So first we're going to glue down our gingerbread house. Then we're going to put down our whatever this is. I don't know if this is a napkin or what it is, but I just thought it would look a little bit more festive if I put this here. So here's our rolling pin, and our mixing bowl is next. And I just decided to put some more of this liquid clay in this bowl to look like the whipped cream that you used, or the cream you used to put it together. So that is the end of this video, and I will not be seeing you guys until 2021, so I hope you have a great Christmas and New Year's. Please comment down below what videos you'd like to see from me in 2021. I hope you guys will return to my channel to see the videos that are coming soon, and I will see you guys next year. Bye!